is top of the line, one of the nicest motherboards I've ever held in my hand, to be honest. Okay, I'm gonna open my box first and explain what's gonna happen, and then I'm gonna let you all do it as well.
Cool. I've already
this
started
box
it,
does
so.
not have anything holding it together. I have placed them all so that forward to you is the flap, so you don't need to turn it around at all. The flap will open from the bottom, so you'll have to kind of lift it up a bit and open it up. It'll just swing forward and then swing all the way up. Once you open it up, the first thing on there on the left-hand side is a piece of cardboard that is just spacer. That will come out. And then you'll feel the motherboard underneath it in a bag. So go ahead and get to that point. Open it up, take out the cardboard, and feel the motherboard
If you wanna-
underneath it. And that, both of y'all work on it together, so you can both, don't take the motherboard out. But
If you
work
want
on
to
it
describe what's happening
so that you know
for
what's
those
going on.
blind folks who can't
So
see
all we're
this.
doing now is
Yes,
pulling out a piece of
he
cardboard
is
and then
opening
just
the
kind of feel what's
box.
underneath under there.
The Z790 motherboard.
I think that's just paper.
Keep that piece of cardboard close and we'll put it back in when we pull everything else
So
out.
I'm gonna keep this over here.
Alright, everyone's at that step? So as we go through this, I mean, you can talk a
And
little bit,
also it's
but
gonna
try
be
to
recording what
pay
he's
attention to
saying
me so
too.
that we can keep moving.
Did you hear me?
If you have questions
What?
at any point,
It's
stop me.
recording what he's
Let
saying
me
too.
know.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Perfect. You got it.
Alright, so on this motherboard, if you're feeling it, on the top right corner, it's higher than the rest of the
You
motherboard.
wanna feel it too?
Top right corner.
Cool. Are we allowed to take it out?
Not yet.
Yeah, hold on.
You're just
That-
feeling right now.
Every motherboard has what's called power delivery, or there's another name I completely just lost it out of my mind. It's basically the chips that power the processor. Those chips get super hot on high motherboards because of how much voltage the processor is using. So nowadays, that giant thing you're feeling is the heat sink that is cooling those MOSFETs. So that's why it feels so big. It's a giant heat sink, so it's just fins of metal that are keeping those power delivery circuits cool. To take this out, you will grab that large section there. Your hand, there's a little section in the back where you can kind of fit your fingers into the cardboard behind it. You'll put your hands in, grab it, and you're just gonna pull straight up. So everyone, the cardboard is underneath it, so at that point, you're gonna grab that
Yep, you're
big
pulling
section on the
straight
top
up
right,
out of the box.
and then pull it out. If the cardboard comes out with it, that's fine, but generally the cardboard should stay in the box.
Yeah, just like that.
Okay, and you're just gonna lay the motherboard carefully on the table next to you.
Yep. Gotta get some small fingers.
This is one thing that, again, once you take it out only one time, so kind of share it, so you let them know what's going on.
Nice and easy. Nice and easy.
Okay.
Heads up.
We're gonna stop once we get to that point, don't take anything out of the box yet.
Wait, didn't he just rule say to take the
No,
motherboard?
you're
know,
okay
it's
with
very
that.
hard.
You're good with that.
Alright, everyone have the motherboard out? Yes. Okay, so I think, Gage's table, your cardboard came out with it, but for everybody else, now on the front of the inside of the box, you'll feel like a handle in the cardboard. Just pull that out now.
Antonio's getting this
You're gonna
part.
remove the cardboard insert, it's just a cardboard insert, there's nothing there.
Yep, pink.
What the heck is this?
Alright, just put that to the side, it's gonna go right back in the box here in a second. Okay, on the bottom, there are gonna be 4 bags, 4 plastic bags. All 4 of those bags need to come out.
You got 1,
Oh.
2. All right, there's 2 more, Jimmy.
Keep going, keep filling it.
Oh my god.
There's one.
Who's got it? 3 and 4.
Leave that one in. For now, we'll talk about that here in a second. Alright, everyone got all 4 bags out? So underneath the bags is the manual. Now, one of the nicest things about
Antonio.
all these custom parts,
And it's
all the
it's
manuals
all
are online in PDF forms.
I have my glasses too.
So if any of you were trying to work on something and you needed to figure out what was going on with it, these boards are by gigabytes, but all these companies, we're using MSI.
I don't know what this
Asus,
stuff
I mean, all these
is.
companies will have all the manuals in PDF form on their websites. So if you ever need to search through the manual to get something, it's on the website. All right, now with all 4 bags out, leave the manual in. We don't need it.
We
Take
don't
it back
need
and
the
put it back in. We're gonna put the cardboard, the big cardboard insert back in, and then the small cardboard insert back in on top of it.
It's already on top, the small one.
So you should put 2 cardboard inserts back into the cardboard box.
And I'll shut it for you. Maybe.
And then, yeah, go ahead and shut the box opposite the way you opened it, and we'll stop there.
Okay. So what do we have there, Jimmy?
A motherboard.
All right, once you get to that point, we'll keep going.
What are the other pieces though?
I don't know.
Okay, we're not sure yet.
There you go. And then the other cardboard goes back in there and close it up. So the flaps go inside the box. All right, so I'm gonna ask a question here. We're gonna use these boxes. What do you think we're gonna use them for? We're gonna continue to use this box for most of today. What are we gonna use it for?
Storage.
No.
Stand.
A stand, yeah. Why would you want to put your motherboard on top of this box?
Prevent the stuff on the bottom from getting all destroyed by the one on the table.
That's one reason, yeah. What else?
When we put like the graphics card part on it, because it usually sticks off the thing, you could have it on the small stand, so it's not
Exactly.
having it at the end of the table.
Yep. What else? There's another good reason. What were we just talking about right before this? Static. Cardboard is not conductive. Cardboard will not cause any static. So that's one reason why every motherboard box is made of cardboard. It's also obviously recyclable. But they're made of cardboard because they're designed for you to put the motherboard on top while you're working on it. It'll protect the box, or protect the board. All right, before we work on the board, we're going to talk about the 4 little bags. So if each of y'all can identify or tell me what's in each of these 4 bags, or attempt to. You probably can't. But
I found the G connector.
what do you think is in these little bags?
What's that?
Yeah, the wide safe connectors, yeah.
The Wi-Fi.
The Wi-Fi, yeah, that's the antenna. What else is
Wi-Fi.
there? There's 2 smaller, there's one flat bag, and then there's one little bag about the size of your palm. No, not a magnet.
G connector.
What is it?
G connector.
Well, that's what it says, but that's not describing what it does. Do you know what it does?
No.
Okay, awesome. Well, you're right, it does say that, but we'll describe what it does.
It's a pad that sits between some things so they're not rubbing up against each other.
That's close. Hear what Gabe said? So, what do you think the small flat one is? Everybody, so pass it between the 2 of you so each of you can experience it. What do you think the small flat one is? What's the shape of it? What is it
Oh.
shaped like?
Pad,
Okay, but what else? A stick,
rectangle.
a stick of gum? What else did we talk about that's the same thing as a stick of gum?
Oh, RAM.
It looks really,
The M dot is
Rubbery.
solid state drive.
is it, what's it feel
So,
like?
if this is the same size as the solid state drive, what would this be?
This-
Anybody?
Hard drive.
No, it is a thermal pad.
Thermal pad.
So what this
Okay.
will do is it'll sit against the solid state drive
So it doesn't
and a
catch
piece of metal, and it'll take heat away from the drive. There's already one built into the motherboard, so we're not actually gonna use these. These are extras just in case we have to replace it later. So go ahead and open the
No, I
box
was like, I've
and
heard
stick
about
the,
this.
just
Can I
the
see?
flat one. Open the box and stick the flat little bag back into the box. It's right on the bottom.
It's the Sega cords.
Someone wanna open up the box and put it in?
Got it.
All
Oh,
right, you should have 3 bags out now, and the box sitting in front of you.
And this.
All right, and the last one we need to identify is the smallest bag, smaller than your hand. That's one little thing in it. What do you all think this is? I will say this is not common. I do not see these very often.
can I see it, Antonio?
I don't have it.
This goes for like
It's-
lights to like make sure that
It's this one.
working.
That's close.
Oh,
So, when you plug in your case into the motherboard, you have a power button. The power button generally has an LED on it that tells you when the computer's on or not. Generally on most motherboards, there's an LED that flashes to show that the drive is working. Those are super tiny little cables that are almost impossible to plug into the board. This is a guide. So you push those cables, you snap them into this plastic piece, and then this just plugs into the board and makes the whole process easier. So we will be using this on Thursday, so we're gonna go ahead and throw that back into the box as well.
What did you say that was?
Y'all identified the Wi-Fi adapter?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna throw that back into the box as well, because that'll be the very end. And
Is it
same
this
cables
thing?
as well, but, so all the bags go back in
Introduce.
except for the motherboard.
Wi-Fi.
I'm sorry I made you pull them all out, but I wanted you to identify them.
Wi-Fi.
So all 4 little bags should go back into the box, and the box should be closed. We will use some of them on Thursday, or
what's that
we'll use
noise?
3 of them, and the last one will just stay in the box for the future.
What is that?
Scissors.
All right, I'm gonna explain this next step, so don't do it until after I finish explaining it, okay? you're gonna take the motherboard out of the bag. So, I'm gonna let each of you, so after I finish explaining, all 8 of you can hold the motherboard in your hand to feel what I'm showing you. But on the back of this bag, so the giant thing that you grab to pull it out of the box, that's at the top of the motherboard. So that big thing is the top, and then towards the bottom it should be more flat. So if you hold it with the top up and go to the back of it, at that same top end is a piece of tape. So either pull the tape off or cut the tape. Okay, don't do it yet, remember? Not yet, let me finish explaining. So you're gonna pull the tape off or cut the tape off. You're gonna open the bag towards the top. And then, like, maybe one of you hold the bag, the other pull it out, however you want to divide the thing. But you're gonna reach in, you're gonna grab the board. Again, by that, up on the top is like a little metal piece. So there's a big one, just like the top corner, and there's also like just the top, there's one too. That's where I want you to grab the motherboard, is by that piece of metal, okay?
Metal.
So, before we open it up, everyone find that piece of metal at the top?
Right here.
Alright, so
You
turn
put it in your
yours
hand. Yeah.
this way. So that right here is the second one.
Do you see the tape?
The big one, and then down here is the
It's on the back.
Oh.
okay.
Piece of metal right here.
Alright, hand the big one up on, yep, this is the
Do you
big
need
one here.
scissors?
And then the small one-
He's gonna. We gotta wait until he comes over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the big one is on the side here, and then the small one is this one right there, that's what you're gonna grab and open it. And you'll show me, you figure out too? Alright, so we're gonna turn it a little bit. So actually this side up here is the top, that's the big one, and then the small one is right there.
Okay.
Alright.
Can we open it?
Open the bag, take the motherboard out. You're gonna put the bag back into the box, and then the motherboard on top of the box.
Good.
Antonio,
Yeah.
give me your left hand, please. I want you to
Remember,
hold
be
this.
very careful with the motherboard.
Hold it right there.
Oh, well, I'm kind
So one of you hold the motherboard
You're
while the
not
other
going
person
to.
opens the box and
You
put the bag back in. Don't put the motherboard out, down on the wooden desk.
Hey, Renee,
Yes, sir.
can I get
You can
some
just kind of
scissors?
stuff that bag in, it doesn't have to be perfect or
Here
folded
they
or
are.
anything, just stuff it
Can I get your hand out of here? Or slide over right there. You got it?
Yep. Got it?
My brain wants cookies.
Your brain wants to. I don't have any cookies, sorry.
You kind of have to lift the tape away from the back of the motherboard. It's kind of like stuck really close, so it's hard to get off. All right. Once you got the motherboard on the box, make sure to position it so it's orientated the same way as the box. So length, like long ways on the box.
Nope, I did not get it.
Yeah, you got it.
Where's the tape? The tape. Here.
Careful.
I'm gonna start the snippet and then you can pull the
Everyone
release.
has it. Oh, almost there.
What's the button for?
Alright, I snipped it.
What's the button for?
Yep. All right. Yep. Grab it right. I'll make sure. Yep. Right here on this metal thing here, and pull it out. And then while you're holding it, if Antonio will get the bag back into the box, and then when he's done, put it back on top of the box.
Can we open it?
Can I touch it?
Here in a second, we'll touch it. Yep.
And then we're gonna put it on the box.
Whoa, it looks really different.
No for right now. All right, everyone has it
The
now.
box is in
I'm
front
gonna
of you.
some things here. You can go ahead and rotate yours a little. One, 45.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's
All right. So I'm going to describe what is on this motherboard, and then I want all of you, all 8 of you, to just go around. We're going to spend probably 10 minutes getting to know this guy. We're going to make it our best friend.
This needs to be here.
On here, like I mentioned, there's the big heat sinks. On the back of one of the heat sinks is the I/O. So that's where your USB ports are, your network ports, your speaker port, those sorts of things. And on the back of one of the big things, it should be on the back of the board. I think all of you, the way you have it, is towards the back of it. Yep, the far back. Okay, don't, no, no, not yet, H.
Someone's excited.
All right. As you go towards the middle, you will find a processor thing. It will have a piece of plastic over it. That plastic is designed to keep it safe at all times until there's a processor in it. Do not take that plastic off. And for right now, do not open the processor. If you keep going towards you will find the memory channels, the memory slots. So you should find 4 of them, just like they were on the practice board, 4 memory channels. Everyone following along here?
Yeah.
Make sure all 8 of you are following along. And then way right in front of you, at the very closest edge of that, is the 24-pin ATX connector. We found all that stuff. Okay. If you find the processor, again, find the plastic on top of the processor.
Right here?
Go to the left, and you'll find another piece of metal. So you'll find the very first piece of metal after the processor. Everyone find that?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, y'all got it? No, got it, yeah. That is where our M.2 stick is going to go. That is the heat sink, and the stick will go underneath that heat sink. Again, we're not taking anything off yet, but that's where that's going to go. The next thing, literally touching it right next to it, is the PCIe port. Let me know that you found the PCIe port.
Where's it at?
It's right, like it's literally touching that heat sink we just found.
This thing?
I'm going to come around and
Nope, other
show you all about it.
This?
So after the heat sink will be a big plate of metal. It's before that big plate of metal.
Right? Go right in there. Right there. Do you feel that channel?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what he's talking about.
Okay.
Do you want to feel it, Tonio?
I'm good.
You guys found it over here?
Oh god, I just see Jimmy like scarily scooching it closer to me.
Yep.
I know he was gonna let you feel.
Oh,
All right.
I'm
After
scared
that
though.
PCIe
Don't be
slot
scared.
is a
You
big
should
plate
feel
of metal.
it.
Oh my god.
That is a heat sink for an additional 3 M.2.
Yeah, that's what we're here
Parts.
for,
This
to
motherboard can
experience
hold
these.
4 M.2 SSDs.
Yeah, so right here is where he
I've
was
never had
talking
that
about.
Wait,
right
wait,
here.
where? Can you show me?
Right
Oh,
there.
oh, this thing? Oh,
Past the or
good.
past that heat sink, you're gonna find 2 more PCIe ports.
Where's the 4th one?
These are PCIe ports, right?
Okay.
There's actually only 3. I think I said 4 earlier. It only has
Yeah,
3.
you said 4, Mike.
I did say
only
4.
count 3.
Well, technically, the first M.2 slot is another PCIe slot, but yeah, there's only 3 16-pin connectors. All right, so everybody found. So we found the first SSD heatsink. We found where the graphics card is going to go. We found the second M.2 heatsink, and then we found 2 more PCIe slots. All right, if you go, so this part here, I want you all to be careful about this because you're going to start touching pins that are sticking out, and we don't want to bend any of them. But if you go past that last PCIe port very carefully, all along the bottom of the board, you're going to find pins. So try not to bend them, don't push on them too hard, just kind of rub them. There are 4 fan headers down there. So see if we can identify the 4 fan headers. Remember we talked about them the other day, how they work?
There's supposed to be a 1 there. It looks actually.
Found them.
No, it doesn't. All right, found all the, you found the fan headers? Anyone not find the fan headers?
Videographer, you are.
There's other types of pins down there, but nothing we're gonna use in our code. So I will explain, well, actually, that's not true. So the very bottom left corner of the board, you'll find next to the fan headers, a plastic rectangle with pins inside of it. That is the front panel I/O. So like I said,
No,
the
there's
power
5.
button.
There's 5 fan headers. There's one right over here, right next to the memory.
Yes, you were correct. There's actually 6, there's 2 at the top, but we're at the bottom. That little rectangle is where remember we found that thing in the back that plugs into things and snaps in? That's where that's gonna go. So that's the very closest to you on the left side. Okay. Also at the bottom are USB headers, and there are RGB headers. So this specific
red,
board
green,
here, I think,
blue.
is like 6 RGB plugs on it. If you don't know what RGB, it means red, green, blue, it means LED lights.
It's literally that simple.
Because this is the age of having a colorful computer, so.
Yay.
Um,
My sons have computers that light up.
some of the things we have color, yes. And I think on the big heatsink where the I/O shield is, that lights up as well. On the front edge towards you, so if you found that front I/O thing, go a little bit to the right, you'll find a button. And then next to the button are pieces of plastic that are bent at 90 degrees facing out towards you. Those are the SATA ports.
I do not have those.
Andrew has them, yep, right there. Yep, so the plugs will be facing towards you instead of
I think it's those right there that you're touching.
that specific
Okay.
button. Let me look at the board.
We have a question.
Yep.
We don't know.
Sorry?
Do we have them?
Yep, that's it.
Where's
Right
this
there
button?
where you're touching.
Yep, so these are the SATA ports right there.
Yeah.
So that button says reset switch, which means it resets the BIOS to factory defaults. There is another button along the bottom edge that says flash, which means you can plug a USB drive in with a new BIOS and just press that button to immediately flash a new BIOS. And there's another button on here somewhere. Oh, there's another button on the other end of it, like right next to the SATA ports at the other end, that says clear. So that one clears any errors. Basically, it's a button designed to force it to boot if something goes wrong, because sometimes errors aren't like keeping the computer from booting. So if you hold that down, it'll bypass all errors and see if it'll still boot. I've never personally used that button.
What this third button?
On the bottom? Yep, that's the flash button.
That's the flash button.
That's the flash button, that's the BIOS reset, and that's the clear error.
This looks like a very
We're not going to be pressing
expensive
any of the buttons during our
thing.
votes today, so you don't need to.
Jeez.
The BIOS is at stock, and we'll talk about that later. Any questions about what we're doing here? Oh, there's one more thing, sorry. On the very far right, towards the top, above that heatsink that you grabbed to pull it out of the bag, there are the CPU pin headers. And remember, the ones we were using earlier had 4 pins. Each of these are 8 pins, and there's actually 2 of them. If you have an i7 or an i9 processor in this board, you need 16 pins to get that thing to power. The plug we have, I think, is that we just have one 8-pin plug and it'll work for the i5s we're using. Any questions about this board? You have asked some good ones, but any more? You ready to do this?
No.
I think so.
Oh, too bad.
All right. The first thing we're going to do is the processor.
Why is that the first thing?
Because it's the first thing you have to do.
God.
I mean, it's not the first thing you
There is a
have
certain
to do.
order
It's the
of
first thing you
things.
should do in case you screw it up.
And the processor is the first.
So like I said, I'm going to talk a bit about this before we get to it, okay? So, there are processors sitting here on my table. I'll pass them out here in a minute, but we're going to go over what's about to happen. The processors we're using today are i5 12400s. So they're pretty high-end i5s, which kind of means middle of the road in terms of general processors, because it goes i3, i5, i7, i9. That's Intel's naming scheme, that only applies to Intel. Technically, AMD started doing that as well with their 3, 5, 7, 9 series too, but, so these processors retail for, I think, about $250 to $300, depending
Oh
on where
my
you go.
god.
You want to get an i7 or i9, you're going to get up to close to $1,000 there.
Oh my god.
Like,
What
This
I'm
is
going
not
to do
fun.
is I'm going to pass out the processors. What are the things we don't want to do with these processors?
Touch the bottom.
Touch the bottom. These have 1,700 pins in them. The ones that we were playing with earlier only had 1,100, so it's 600 more pins on the board and 600 more pads on the bottom of the processor. When we talk about electrostatic, this is one thing that it could damage. Or if you touch 2 of the pins and you get static between them, you could kill the processor. As long as we're not touching them, we're going to be fine. And even if you accidentally touch them, I think we're going to be fine. Again, this room is pretty dry. And there's not much static in here. We just want to be as careful as possible. The processors we were using earlier were squares. These are not.
Build it during
These
the
are
winter.
rectangles.
Rectangles.
it's all
So-
staticky during the winter.
One of the things about these processors, when you were finding the grooves on the ones earlier, since it was a square, it was pretty easy to find. On these guys, the grooves are on the shorter sides of the rectangle. So the 2 long sides don't have any grooves. The grooves are going to be on the 2 shorter sides. And then one of the pins, or one of the grooves is closer to one of the edges, and that tells you the orientation. Again, we're going to make sure you know the orientation before we do anything. When I come to each table, but just so you know, that's on these specific processors, that's how you determine the orientation. The grooves are on the, I call them top and bottom, because if you feel the processor hole on the board, it's long way, so the rectangle is going side to side the way you have it on your tables in front of you. Any questions? So, I'm gonna pass the processors out, don't put them on the table. You can each kind of explore them a little bit, don't touch the bottoms, I will show you which side the bottoms are. You're just gonna hold them, and then I'm gonna come to each table, and we're gonna put them into the motherboard.
I'm not touching it.
If you don't, that's all up to you. You can do whatever you want with it, but,
Are you ready for this, Jimmy?
all right.
Pour me a shot.
You nervous, Jimmy?
No.
Yeah,
Oh, I thought you were excited.
both.
Yeah.
Oh
Like,
God, I'm just
This is the
I'm
real thing.
chickening
You
it
screw
out.
this up here. That's it.
Jimmy, you can tell I don't want to do this.
Yeah, you'll be alright.
Oh, g-
He said you'd be
oh God.
Watch you do that.
Oh, why
Alright.
me?
It's alright, Antonio. It's gonna be all good.
That was a very definitive.
Tell that when I pass out from electrocution.
It's not plugged in anywhere.
Yeah, you got no power to nothing, so then you can be alright.
Here, just gonna make sure everything goes smoothly.
Are you still filming over there? That thing's still going?
Yes, it is. We're up to 26 minutes.
Dang.
Yep.
Feel on the shoulder edges, those groups, you feel them?
You guys will see how long it goes.
He wants me to film him doing this. It's his phone, not mine.
All right.
26 minutes.
I
You
was
have some good memory on that phone. Your storage.
yeah, you do.
I'm holding them too. and
2
I'm-
terabytes.
All right, I'm gonna give it to the
Wow.
Okay, that's the highest one.
top.
I would
Feel the
expect
grooves
him
on
to
the
do
shorter
that.
edges, don't touch the bottom.
I don't know what mine is.
Straight to two.
I have no clue.
All right, so you don't want to experience it, Antonio?
I'm good.
All right, so I'm gonna give it to Jimmy here.
Alright.
Give me 1 second to get it out. All right, so there's the top of it. Hold it by the edges, don't touch the bottom. Feel on the shorter edges the grooves. Tell me if you feel those.
Yeah.
All right. All right, everyone's holding the processor. Be very careful with it.
Breathe in,
Okay,
breathe
I'm
out.
gonna explain the process of putting it in the board, and then I'm gonna come. Steve and I have devised a way to do it, so to kind of let you experience it first. And then for those of you that are confident, we're going to let you do it. If you don't want to do it, that's fine, I will do it for you. But this is going to be the hardest moment of the entire week. All right. Okay, so what's gonna happen here, you feel the plastic that's on top of that port, or that socket, right?
Yeah.
You are not going to touch that plastic at all. When you put the processor, so you're gonna open the clamp. This is a very different clamp than what you've been doing. Don't open them yet, but when the lever comes
So I
off,
open the clamp and then you say don't open the clamp.
I'm gonna explain it first, and then you're gonna do it. So I'm going to explain it as if we're doing it now, but then you don't do it till later.
Oh my
Super
God.
confusing, I know.
Bruh.
You're confusing.
The lever is closest to you. It is going to come out towards you and up. However, the clamp is not going to open with the lever like it did on the other boards. The clamp is going to open to the left. So on the top right corner of the clamp is another little handle, and that's the handle you're going to use, and you're going to swing it up to the left. Okay, so the lever will come up and out to the right, the rest will come up and out to the left. And you're not going to do this until I'm standing at the table with you, okay?
Yep, so don't do it yet.
I'm going to be watching your board the entire time it is open. When you put the processor in and you put the clamp back down, the force of the processor there will pop the plastic out. That is the moment the plastic comes out. That make sense? So you will not ever pull on that plastic until you push the clamp back down and the plastic piece pops out from the force of the processor. Okay? And once the plastic part pops off, that can go back in the box as well. But I'm going to start over here with Ethan and Andrew, and we're going to go around and we're going to do this. All right, go ahead and open the clamp.
Oh my God.
Oh dear, you're gonna make me yawn.
I know, I looked away when he was doing it. I'm like, no.
Yep, there you go. And then, yep. So on the top.
I don't think I'm gonna edit this video either. I'm just gonna upload it.
Yep, and
What, your video?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna verify. All right, just leave it just like that. Don't touch anything yet. I'm gonna verify all.
Then nobody can leave in the comments of, oh, you did that's edited.
Here.
No, it's raw.
Touching the thing, kind of.
She's literally holding the camera, and this is what you're
I will
getting.
keep the barrier in place. So the grooves, the groove closer to the edge is gonna be
Yeah, I
closer
can
to
take
you. So you need to flip that processor around 180 degrees.
Can you take me to my
First
car?
time gonna be kind of weird because it's processing.
No, but you're parked right by us.
Rip. Oh.
Yesterday was nuts.
On the edge there.
Took us a while.
All right, take it off. Don't touch anything when you drop it, okay? Yeah, just put one down.
How you doing over there, Antonio?
Oh God, I don't know.
You'll be alright.
You owe me a what?
I said you'll be alright.
Oh God.
I'll just be happy if the computer turns on. If it turns on, it's the one for me.
Is this all we're doing, or is there another part they're gonna
So that
What's that?
Is this the last
You
part
literally
of
made
this
me
that we're
yawn.
doing, or is there more to it?
Oh, we have to build the whole thing. This is the first part.
Oh my goodness.
We're not doing it all.
You're probably doing the rest tomorrow, maybe.
Wait,
Thursday.
no, not tomorrow. Thursday.
Because today's almost 3
We'll
o'clock.
finish it up Thursday.
Oh, we're here till 5.
Oh.
You're not 4. We are till 5.
Oh, okay.
I was thinking 4.
It's been a late evening for me.
There it goes. All right, now put the pen down.
I didn't settle down.
Or the lever, sorry.
It's gonna be a while.
Okay, the hardest part is done.
Yeah.
The hardest part is done.
Yep. you're gonna-
Are you staying for dinner, Renee, or are you taking
No,
off?
I have dinner plans tonight with a friend.
Yeah.
Nice.
My daughter's out of town, so it doesn't happen often.
All right. First motherboard successfully done.
Yeah.
All right. So, which one are you gonna do?
1 of 8.
You're right.
What do you mean 1 of 8?
1 of 8 board.
Oh God.
No, excuse me, 1 of 4.
Yo.
There's your lever.
Yeah.
This one's a little bit right there. This one's not as strong as the other ones. So you push it down towards you. No, remember it's a lever. Push it down. Yeah, push it down towards you.
This is the hardest part of this entire build. Everything else from here on is.
Now,
And then everybody just explodes up the room.
pull it all the way up to the left. There you go. All right, we're good. We are open now.
Almost makes me wanna come back here to the first just to see them finish.
Right.
I know, like, there's so much. Like,
Like the entrepreneurship, you know, I wanna see them.
Oh, devil.
We'll get close.
Do you think we'll get to turn it on and put software on it today?
No.
If I tell you to stop doing something, you stop, okay? Yeah, that's correct.
Cause you'll have Friday too.
Yeah.
Are you fascinated with those scissors, Antonio?
I don't
Yes,
know.
he is.
You need a fidget, don't you?
I'm just bored.
Wish I had my fidget
Wait,
back.
we're.
I don't think I should
All right, back in
have.
front of you. So we're gonna push this down. Yep. Keep pushing that down until the plastic pops out. Right there. Push that little lever down until the plastic pops out. Gotta push hard. Okay, right.
I keep
All right,
yawning.
push it down.
I've been doing that.
And who started it? Antonio.
I know it's Antonio's fault.
Antonio,
I
and
saw
you, and me.
Yawn
She
earlier.
yawned.
I need some like fresh air. I need some vitamin.
All right.
I need
Leave this
some
in
sun.
there. Go further down. There you go.
And
All right.
I know, I don't think I could ever live like in Seattle where it's cloudy all
Oh,
the
I
time.
could not. I lived in Iowa for a while, and for, well, a year one time, and then the next time I was there for 3 years. Overcast so much. I did not like
Where?
it. Iowa.
Where he just went?
Huh?
Where he just
There's
went?
a shadow. There's a shadow. All right, second computer done.
Woo!
All right, let's do it right here.
Nothing is
Oh,
All
save,
right, one more to go.
save us for last.
Save the best for last.
Oh, God. That's no pressure. I have to follow 3 other teams, folks, who have gotten it in successfully.
You got this.
Right up
You
the
got
top
it.
here. Right there. Yes.
We get this in, it'll be a miracle.
Right there.
Aw,
It's
you
Mer- it's
did pretty good
America.
on the other ones, so.
Straight up until it stops.
America.
stop. Let's just slowly go down. All right, hold it by the green part. The piece you kind of where you like this part. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, just like that. There you go. Go down.
Jimmy, why?
When they're expensive, it's kind of hard, right?
All right, and then Logan, if you want to clamp it back up. So same thing, you have to use this little thing to push it down, just push down until the plastic pops out.
Were you
Right
out
up
of
there,
the rat?
this part right here.
Yeah, this is really expensive.
Right there, push that until the plastic pops out. Push harder.
Oh, that didn't sound good.
The whole thing, each computer, we got over that one.
Sometimes the plastic doesn't pop out.
What was that?
Well,
Okay, so right here, there's a little lever, you can pull the plastic up there. So, yeah, there you go, just pop it off. There you go, that's perfect. All right, put the clamp back down. Sometimes it comes off, sometimes it goes plastic.
Watery.
I know.
All right,
What'd you say?
all right, that's
So
it.
she's over here yawning so hard her eyes watered.
What time did you get up this morning, Renee?
Like 6:30, 7. My body unfortunately wakes me up every day at that time.
Are you a are you a teacher or what do you do?
Yeah.
What do you teach?
Elementary. Mostly
Alright.
students with autism.
Third one done.
All right.
All right, you're doing everything, Jimmy?
Yeah.
All right, so open your lever. So right there, push it down and to the left, or right, sorry, that was your right. Yep, down towards you and to the right.
Left.
No, right. Like down towards you and it'll go up to the right. There you go. There you go. And all the way out of the way. Okay?
That's it.
That's it, yep. So then right here is a lever. Use this little lever right there to lift it all the way up to the left.
tired, Logan?
This doesn't
Hold it,
work.
hold it right there. I'm gonna go grab the plastic.
Did you not get?
Oh, did you move?
Nathan,
Oh.
So I just have a little piece of plastic here so you can kind of feel there to find where the grooves are. So go ahead. Just try not, so feel the edges of the plastic down here, not the pins on the inside. Okay, are you right? You ready to put it down? Okay.
Yeah.
So if I say stop at any moment, you just stop immediately, okay?
Okay.
All right, grab the processor. Let me see what orientation you have it in. It's gonna go like this, okay? You got it? Just like that, okay? All right, go down. Very slowly, very slowly.
Get up, we'll have to get up at 6, get ready. And
All right, towards you.
Drive to the bus pickup.
Don't do that. Towards you, towards you. Okay, feel the edges of the plastic there.
Yeah.
And keep going down, just very slowly. All right, further down, very slowly. You can get it further down. You have like another ½ inch to go. You need to slowly lower it. There you go. And you're in. All right, drop it. All right. And I'm just gonna check yours before you clamp it down, just so you don't have to open the clamp again. That was perfect.
Could it have gotten any better if I tried?
All right, now push the clamp down.
This?
Yep. And then push down on the piece way up here until the plastic pops out. Just push down until the plastic pops out. There you go. Pull the plastic out. And put the lever down.
Is it secure? Is it good?
Yep, just all down and then under the little thing that holds it. All the way down to the board.
You were, well, we'll probably split it with this pair.
It doesn't feel.
Yep, you're done. You're good.
Are you sure?
Yep, leave it.
Okay.
We're done.
Yeah!
We did a
Woo!
Now, Jimmy, I'm gonna stop
we
it,
did
okay?
a thing.
All right.